It's Powerback time on the Gutsy podcast, your 20-minute boost to reclaim and refocus your energy. Get ready to have bursts of clarity, a boost of confidence, and the practical steps you need to make gutsy moves forward. You've got big things to do, so let's get your power back. There are two types of comfort. One is tied to what you know. These are the things that are familiar, your go-to, the stuff that you know how to dodge, handle, pivot, and work with. And these happen to be the things that you go to when you're avoiding or resisting a change in your life. The second is comfort in what you have. These are the things that you have worked for, that you have earned, that you've gone after, that you have created for yourself in your life. And if you want to grow, if you want more of this type of comfort in your life, then you have to challenge that first comfort by getting out of your comfort zone. In this Powerback episode, I'm going to share two very powerful questions to help you get out of autopilot, challenge that comfort that's keeping you in the same cycle, and help you make that move that you can't stop thinking about. If you're ready to grow and you don't know where to start, this is the episode for you. Before we dig into this, I have a small request that packs a really big punch. And that is, if you are loving the Gutsy podcast, if you're taking valuable information away, if something is helping you or has helped shift something in your life, could you leave a review on the app that you listen to the show on? I know it's one of those things where you're like, does it actually really matter? Or you're like, no, I've been really intending to do it. It's actually on my to-do list. I just haven't got around to it. First, I want you to know it absolutely matters. First, it's a way for me to hear from you. It tells me what you're taking away from the show and what's working really well. But second, it also helps other amazing women all around the world identify that, hey, this is a show that might be for me too. Your review could be the reason that another woman makes her next gutsy move. I mean, how incredible is that? So whether you've been meaning to do it or you've never thought about it before, this is your opportunity to help make an impact. On both the Apple and Spotify apps, if you go to the main page for the Gutsy podcast, scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a section for you to leave a review. And thank you so incredibly much in advance. Now, let's get into this, okay? Comfort is comfortable. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to know that. I mean, I think that most of us in pretty much every area of our life, in our careers, we're looking for some sort of comfort. I mean, I don't mind some risk. I mean, I do talk about being gutsy quite often, but do I want to consistently be in a space of the unknown or on the edge or making changes? Not really. The goal of making gutsy moves is to get to a place of comfort, to create a new reality, to have a new level of peace in your life. But the only way you're going to get to that is if you challenge the comfort that's keeping you in the same cycle. So let me dig into this a little bit further here, because I literally just realized this in prepping for this episode. I've got a notebook and I started writing down. I'm like, I really think that there's two main categories of comfort. There might be a spectrum in other ways, but I think that there's two main ways. And the first comfort is tied to what you know. These are your habits. These are your routines. This is the way that you drive to work. This is how you spend your evenings and how you work on your computer, right? Like this comfort, it's not necessarily because it's enjoyable. It's because it's what you know. Why do you think that starting a fitness routine is like banging your head up against the wall? Because it's more comfortable to be at home. It's more comfortable to sit down and watch TV. It's more comfortable to sometimes do anything other than work out. But getting what you want, which might be fitness, it might be health, might be more vitality, getting that stuff requires you to get out of your comfort zone. It requires you to challenge what you know. Whereas the other type of comfort is what you have. And this is usually the result of getting out of your comfort zone, said first example, to make gutsy moves, to do something different, to challenge the way that you've been doing things, to get the new comfort that you actually want. So if we use the same example, stick with me here. Let's say you're uncomfortable in your body for some form or fashion. Let's just say you have consistent pain. You've been feeling sluggish, you sit at a desk a lot, right? You're just not moving very much. Your goal, your focus, the ideal thing here is to start moving so that you start feeling better. You're not currently comfortable in your body, but you are comfortable with the routines that you have, which have likely fed how you're currently feeling. This is the comfort that you know, sitting at the desk, not moving your body, not taking walks, not stretching. And because it's probably been going on for so long, it's just how you operate. You're probably not even thinking about it. But to get the comfort that you want, the comfort of a body that can move without or with less pain, a body that has more energy, a body that has more vitality, getting that requires you to challenge the comfort of the way that you're currently moving. See what I'm saying here? There are two types of comfort. And to get the comfort that you want, the goals that you want, the feelings that you want, the outcome that you're desiring, the stuff that you're like daydreaming about, we've got to challenge the comfort that is keeping you stuck. And one of the best and most simplistic ways to do this is to challenge yourself through two very simple but very powerful and impactful questions. The first is asking and being very honest about, what do I want? I've got to get very clear about what I want so I can start making decisions that support that. And the second question, what do I need to do or who do I need to be in order to get it? Let me give you a real life example using these two questions. Right now in my business, I'm in growth mode. Okay. At time of recording, I'm just shy of 2 years being completely full-time as a keynote speaker and a coach. I sold my agency in December of 2023 to go all in on this huge pivot, huge gutsy move in my career. And the first couple of years of any business, it's just about building foundations, finding strategies, like just getting your footing. And a lot of that is also building recognition in this particular industry. I had the branding stuff down. I've been doing that shit for like 20 plus years. Shifting industries, like completely leaving one and going into another one, basically starting all over. I mean, I have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, though I didn't lose that, but I started over. And those first 2 years of any business is critical. I've been doing an ass ton of work behind the scenes, like so much. I have a small but mighty team. Right now, it's my husband and I know that I'll get to the point where I can delegate some things out, but right now in this particular season, we're not there yet. One of the things that I know to be true from my past experience through the agency and also just the work that I've been doing in speaking and coaching is that anytime that I have the opportunity to share a space, a physical space, and exchange energy, sometimes, yes, this works on Zoom too, but I'm really talking about in-person stuff here. That opportunity always opens something up. There's just something really powerful about using my voice and sharing my energy and listening to people and just being, you know what I mean? The problem is after COVID, I got really comfortable being at home. Prior to selling the agency, prior to COVID even, I left a bunch of organizations. I finished out any board of directors that I was on, like any networking stuff that I was going to, I stopped going to. I was pretty burnt out pre-COVID from that stuff because I did too much. Okay. The pendulum swung way too far. So I took a break. Okay. Then COVID hit and then we were all forced to be alone. And then I got super comfy cozy being at home and now leaving my house to like actively and willingly go to a networking event or to meet people or even to go to lunch with somebody. Man, I don't know about you, but it just takes so much energy. And a lot of it is I've just gotten comfortable being at home. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat this, and nor do I want to. Everything that I want and need is at my house. Okay. My snacks are here. My elastic waistband pants are here. On Zoom, I only have to put in half effort. Walking down my stairs, I'm not fighting traffic. So you can see how all these things start stacking. Okay. Stacking to create a comfort of what I know. But when I zoom out for a second and I ask myself the question, Laura, what do you want right now? What really is working? What works well? What do we need? I want to grow my business. I want more people to know about me. I want to make a bigger impact. And while I can do that on the lovely World Wide Web, there's something profound about being in a physical room. I want to grow my business. I want to make connections. I want to meet new people. I want to strengthen my skills. And you know what that means? What do I need to do and who do I need to be to get it? I got to leave my house. And honestly, even saying that out loud, I'm like, oh my God. Like, it's challenging the comfort of what I know. But to get what I want, I've got to get temporarily uncomfortable to build a new comfort. See what I'm saying here? Like, the new comfort is my business is growing. I've made more connections. Speaking opportunities are now inbound instead of me having to reach out to 5,000 events every year. New clients are joining Auraline in the Gutsy Collective or signing up for one-on-one coaching because they know somebody that worked with me before and they saw the moves that they made, or because we met in person, now they're following me on TikTok and they saw a TikTok that just like sparked something incredible in them and now they're ready to make the move. Maybe they heard my voice and they're like, oh my gosh, that's the Gutsy podcast girl. And now because we met in person, now we form a relationship and they want to listen even more. You know what I mean? Like, this is what happens. This is ultimately what I'm calling in. But that shit is not going to happen if I'm sitting in my basement by myself for 40 or 50 hours a week. I have been challenging myself lately by leaving my house. I know that sounds really silly, but I know that you can relate to this. I've been putting on real ass pants. Like, I bought a pair of jeans that I love, actually, by the way. And I've been getting in my car and I've been driving to things and visiting and trying. And I want to put something very important in here. Just because you try something new or you start something new doesn't mean that you're committed to it for life. So one of the things that I've been doing is experimenting with, like, where do I want to go? Where are the rooms that have the energy that I'm looking for? Where do I feel poured into and alive and excited and like, this is a good fit for me in this season of my life. 10 or 15 years ago, I would have just stacked them, right? I would have done all the things because I was not healed yet. But now I'm incredibly intentional about what I say yes to. So I've been visiting some groups and I've been joining a few things and I've been networking and I'm just seeing what works. But most importantly, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. I am challenging myself in a healthy way because it's anchored into the thing that I want. I'm not doing this because anyone's making me. I'm not doing this because I feel like I should, right? In air quotes, to follow some sort of standard. I'm doing this because it's very intentional. I know that when I'm in a room with somebody or a group of people, great things happen. So one of the things that I did was I drove 2 hours to DC. DC traffic is horrendous. If you're not from around here, it is 3 out of 10 recommend. But this is a group that I'm already a part of. So this is called Mic Drop Club. It's led by Jess Ekstrom. You may have heard me talk about it on the podcast before. I've gone through all of her programs. She really is honing in on and helping women get paid to speak and to improve their speaking skills. So Mic Drop Club has been online. If you are interested in like growing your skills in speaking, it doesn't mean it has to be from stage, but it can be in a boardroom. It can be in conversations. It can be in, I want to speak better when I'm talking to people or pitching stuff. Mic Drop Club is specific to help women strengthen their speaking skills. Up until recently, it's always been virtual, which has been very cool. Okay. Very convenient, but they've recently introduced that quarterly, there are going to be in-person events. And the closest chapter to me is DC. Knowing that I already love Mic Drop Club and I love the people in it, I know what value I've taken from it. I was like, you know what? I think this is one of those moments where I got to challenge myself. Do I really want to drive to DC and back in a day? Not particularly, but I need to shake some things up. Okay. I need to get out of my house. I need to see people. I need to like hug people in real human form. So I got ready. I drove to DC. I attended this 2-hour event. I met some incredible women. We had lots of fun. We joked and we laughed and we heard stories and we watched women just like open up and expand. And it was amazing. And on the way home, while I was fatigued because I got up early and I drove a lot, I felt fulfilled. I was like, yes, this is intentional gathering. This is worth getting out of my house and going to. Another thing that I've recently done is I have rejoined my Chamber of Commerce. I used to be heavily involved in it, took a huge break. I did nothing. Like I literally fell off the planet for these types of things. But I'm like, you know what? I don't know what I don't know in my local community. And while there are incredible opportunities all around the country, there's also some really great organizations and people right here in my backyard. So I reached out, I joined the chamber. I have not yet gone to an event, so to be continued, but it was a good first step. And again, I want to call that out because just because I joined the chamber doesn't mean I have to do all the things, right? I'm getting all the emails now and all these things are happening. And I'm like, I'm balancing between what I feel like I should do versus what I feel called to do or what I want to do. And I'm still playing with that. But I have made the first step. I've taken that first gutsy move and I've created the opportunity to now be able to make more decisions. And one last quick example here is something that I decided this is not a right fit for me. I went to a networking group that meets on a weekly basis. This is actually something that I was a part of a long time ago. This is called BNI. So if you're looking for networking groups, something that's very intentional, that passes referrals, this is actually a very great organization to be able to grow your business. It's one of the very first things that I joined when I started the agency way back in the day. After joining the chamber, my name pops up on stuff. So somebody in that group reached out and was like, hey, would you be interested in visiting? And at first I was like, I don't think I can do this. But then I thought, you know what, Laura, maybe. This helped your business a lot the first time. Maybe it could help again this time. So I decided, yes, I will attend as a guest, but I was very transparent. I don't know that I'm looking to join a chapter, but I'm willing to come just kind of feel it out. I went. Lovely group, great energy, very similar to what I was used to way back in the day. The structure is still there. It's still working, but I didn't feel it. It was nothing that anybody did wrong. Nobody made me feel that way. It was just an internal feeling, a gut instinct that, you know what, this isn't right for me in this season of my life. This is a weekly commitment. It's very early in the morning. There's some things that you have to do outside of the meetings. Again, none of it is wrong. It's just not right for me. And that's something that I want you to really latch onto. Something can be good, but not good for you. Something can be a right fit for someone else, but not right for you. And this is where that very intentional choice of what do I want and what works for me? What stretches me just enough to get me out of my comfort zone without putting me in a place of now I'm just burning out. Now I'm back in a different cycle. Now I'm in a new discomfort, but this one's ongoing. Look, there's no magic wand to making decisions. Okay. This is only something that you can choose, but it has to start with the first question of what do you want? Clarity is direction. And when you have direction, you can start making choices that support it, that challenge the things that you're used to, that get you out of your comfort zone. Because when you know what you want, or at least a feeling, or you have that direction, you then know the new comfort that you are working towards. Growth does not happen in the mundane. It does not happen in the perpetual comfort of what you know. Growth happens with radical self-honesty and the willingness to make a change to get it. That's the sauce. That's the formula, period. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's perfect. And if your brain is getting loud and noisy and talking you out of stuff and making you overthink things, I've got hundreds of episodes and TikTok videos for you to dig into that. Today, we're just focusing on what do you actually want? And what do you need to do? And who do you need to be to get it? This formula, followed by the action, is what's going to help break what you know to help you get what you want. If you're not sure about how to answer either one of those questions, or things feel a little fuzzy or a little unclear, then let's hop on a call together. I love doing clarity sessions. These are free 30-minute sessions between you and I for us to get to the root of what's going on and to help you know what your next step is. You can book your session at lauraora.com/clarity or click on the link in the show notes below. It's time to do the thing, my friend. You've been bumping up against it for far too long. In the next chapter of your life, the one where you get what you want, you have fulfillment, you feel creative, you feel free, you feel like you again, all of it is on the other side of your willingness to go for it. I would love to stay connected outside of the podcast. You can find me on all the social platforms using @thatlauraora. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.